Good morning, Lena. Thank you for
Mm.
coming. How are
Yeah,
you?
hi, morning. Thank you for having me here.
Sure. So, for the audience, so we have Lena here with us. She's an age reversal expert and a face yoga instructor. So today we're gonna talk face yoga. So,
Yeah.
so before we start getting into the topic, like, could you explain us what is face yoga and how you got in touch with it?
Okay. So the method that I'm teaching, because there are really several ways you can exercise your face, but the method that I'm using and the one that I learned um, is a combination of uh, face movement and body posture
Mm-hmm.
for like really ultimate results. Because, for example, if you just add a simple tilt in your head, your muscles work extra hard. Or if you move
Right.
your hands in a specific way, like that's really the uniqueness of this method, that it sees the body as a whole, because we have muscles not only in our body but also in the face, right? And they are all connected. So by adding those small tweaks, we can really achieve far more and faster. So that's what I love it.
Right.
It's amazing.
Yeah. And so, like, because like I actually had to research a little bit because I've never heard about face yoga before, right? Um, and so my understanding is that the same way that you exercise your muscles on your legs, you do the same thing with your face, right?
Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah, I like to compare it more to our butt. I think that's a,
Okay. Yeah.
we got cheekbones and we cheeks, and cheeks we on the bottom. So I think gives a better idea. So if you want to have like more toned rear end, then you do squats and lunges and all those exercises that actually activate this particular set of muscles, right? But you don't
Right.
focus only on that. You just try to do overall body exercises with a focus on that particular body part. It's the same with the face, actually. We can tone the muscles, we can make them stronger, we can lift them up, and then the result is amazing. So
Right.
that's really the principle is exactly the same.
Okay. No, I mean that makes sense, right? But it's like it's not something very common. So how did you get in touch with that concept? Like, did you know it before, or like how did you get involved in it?
Oh, now it's more like self-discovery journey for me. When I turned 34, we moved to another country because we basically move every 5 years average. So, and I started noticing that my kids started asking questions. Mom, are you angry? Is everything okay? And I was like, oh, what the hell are they talking about? And then this. So, and there was, Mom, are you angry? No. Mom, are you angry? No. So, so
They
get
come
like,
up.
and then I started exploring what can I do with my 11 lines, because that's for me how it started. I really didn't like the fact that my forehead was so tense all the time, and 11 lines, like constantly. I couldn't really relax my brows. So of course I did the first thing that when you Google it, I went and tried Botox, and I totally didn't like it. It's not that it was done in an incorrect way. The lady did it perfectly. I just didn't feel like it's me again. I couldn't
Right.
control it. It's me, but no, I didn't like the result. So I started researching and Googling, and then I came across face exercises, and I just started myself doing, and then after first 2 weeks, actually my husband noticed the results while we were in a car. And I was like, oh my God, that really works. So I was totally hooked. So it started with
Right.
me and trying to fix my own problem. And because most of our friends tease us from time to time, and every time we go home to visit our parents, we meet friends, of course. And then the people started asking me questions. What are you doing? Did you do Botox? Did you do the injectables? And so I said, no. What are you doing then? I said, face yoga, huh? Said, okay, that's great. And I started showing to friends and family, and the more questions arose. I was like, oh my God, this is really great. I can share it with more people. I can start teaching. So actually, I did the certification course, which goes really in depth into the muscles and how to activate the particular parts, and that was amazing. And I'm hooked. Like really, I'm so passionate about it, and I could talk about it all day long.
Yeah, no, and that's great. And and sometimes the first time that I heard about face yoga, I was like, but what is the benefit of that? Because I sort of you can think, okay, if I get strong, I get my arms,
Yeah.
I can pull up things, and I can arrange the boxes in the house and do things
Yeah.
see the day to day, right? But I wanted to ask you, like, apart from the obvious physical change that it can help
Mm-hmm.
you shape your face, and it can help you feel better with yourself, what
Yeah.
other benefits there are to face yoga so people understand the full scope of it?
Yeah. So basically, I always say that there are three main areas where the benefit I see with myself, with my clients. So that's like a feeling of self-control. Because as we grow older, I had this feeling, and I know that a lot of my clients have the feeling of losing control of what's going on to their face.
Right.
And then the face yoga helps you raise awareness about your muscles, about how they move and how you need to move them in order to get the result that you want, because we can totally control our face muscles. And also the self-control, like it helps us to gain this confidence that we are in control. And the confidence, that's the other thing. It comes with the visual effect, of course, but have you ever tried to uh, have your shoulders back and
Yeah.
be straight and said, oh my god, I'm so miserable, and it doesn't match, right? And then when you work on lifting your corners of your mouth, and then, oh my god, I'm so unhappy, I mean, it doesn't, so it
Yeah,
doesn't
there's
really that doesn't match. So control over your face and your aging process, plus the confidence that you can actually do it, and then you feel amazing. And then the third area is the confidence in speech. I work a lot with corporate people, with corporate women that need to do a lot of presentations, right? And then they had this lack of confidence when they were out there and not sure what they do with their face. They didn't like, for example, how they look later on the videos. And then we worked on that. And I worked in a corporation myself, so I know the drill. And the more they exercise their face muscles and they knew how to control their body posture and their mimics, then they got the confidence, because they're in control and they were able to express themselves better. So
yeah, and
these three, yeah.
it's very interesting what you say, right? Because like, I haven't thought about this. Like when we were talking about doing the interview and everything, I was like, okay. I mean, I see clearly that there are changes physically, and this can be something, right? But when you say the benefits, like, these are your muscles, like, you can't control them, and sometimes you have the feeling that they just react. Like, my face is separate from me, and I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm just like, my muscles are moving, and I have no control over it whatsoever. But the fact that you can work on that and be more conscious that your face is part of you, that it's really who you are, and so you can know yourself in that way. I think that's a very interesting point that I haven't thought about that, and I think that's really neat. Something that I wanted to ask you, because I understand that bodies are different, men and women, there are differences. So I wanted to ask you, like, if there are different kinds of exercises for men and women, or there are any types that you say, okay, for these, I don't know, face type, we're gonna do this, or like, if you want to get to this, then we need to change that type of exercise. So if you could tell me a little bit about differences, or like how do you adapt these face yoga exercises to different people?
Well, I'm not gonna lie, most of my clients are women, but I do get a few men from time to time. Usually when I do the workshops, like live workshops, being invited to different studios, and I do the workshops, then a few men decide to show up. And of course they are interested in developing different parts of their face, because us women, mostly we want to work on their cheeks, to lift them up, have the really beautiful jawline. And for men, it's usually the jaw. They want to have it more masculine. And but that's for both sexes, for female and male, the forehead. This is like the main. I think that there also a lot of that has to do with the language that we speak, because we use different muscles.
Right. Yeah.
And yeah, so language is very important to determine which muscles you need to work on specifically. And so for the men and women, the focus is different. But of course, it always depends on the client. That's very, very personal. And when we talk about the languages, I mean, we all have this idea that Asians are so bloody lucky. They don't get old, right? They don't.
Something in the
Like
blood, you
they
know?
like look like they're 16 all their life.
Yeah.
And then they just die looking like 16.
Yeah.
And that has a lot to do with the language they're using, because their facial expressions are different, because they use different muscles when they talk. Like Americans and European, we use a lot of forehead, right? And you don't see that with Asians. Their main concern are droopy eyelids.
Yeah.
So it all depends. There are a lot of various factors that determine what my client needs.
And I think that you touch a point that it's really interesting, right? Like you wouldn't think that language would really change the way that your muscles are working, right, on the everyday. But then I guess that even due to culture or due to language or both, it could be that you have more developed some muscles than others, right?
Yes,
So
exactly.
to work on what you're missing there, in order to balance it out, right?
Yeah, that's true.
And I wanted to ask you, like, because, you know, for example, like I do yoga, right? And I would go to a class, and every day is different, right? Like every day is something new that you're learning, right? So, so how is the face yoga class? Like, is it, because in the end, like, I don't know how many possibilities you have, right? But you know, you think about yoga and you're like, okay, today we're doing legs, tomorrow we're doing arms, but then if you think, okay, it's just this piece, like, how can this be engaging? Like, how can you like be like, yes, I'm gonna show up, I'm gonna do my face yoga this morning? Like, how does the class or like the exercise go?
Well, there are over 70 face poses.
Okay.
So it's not like there are only 3 or 4 or 10. There are over 70 altogether. And every pose has a variation dependently on the really personalized client requirements. Because there are some people that move their forehead mainly in the middle here, but there are people who move here and then the wrinkles show up here. Well, here the forehead is totally smooth. So there are a lot of options. And what I love about the way that I teach is that I always strategically plan and adjust the face exercises towards my clients so they can do it during the day. My teacher says that we should do it in the morning and in the evening. That's the perfect world for me. I really don't have time to do that sometimes in the morning. So I basically do something while I do my makeup and, like you said, brush my teeth. And then I do things during the day. So how to stay motivated? I think that seeing the results, that's the best motivator. And so I really, yeah, sorry, you were saying?
Like, you know, I think the results is something that really strikes you, right? Like when you start doing any type of exercise or anything, like when you see that this is working for you is when you're like, oh, okay, I'm onto something, right? So, so how much time does it take for you to see results? Like if you're consistent and following, you know, a program, like how much time would it take for you to see, oh, you know, there's some changes here?
Yeah. So for me, I was back then 34, 35. Now I'm nearly 40 when I started. And I didn't see the results myself. And that's the other thing that that I make my clients aware, that quite often we don't see the results ourselves. My husband saw the results after 2 weeks of me doing the face exercises. So I was working, that's a funny story actually, because I was working to get rid of the 11 lines. And he just looked at me in the car and said, oh, you don't have double chin anymore. I said, oh shit, thank you so much. I didn't know that I have one, but okay.
Right? Thank you.
Yeah, exactly. So me, 2 weeks. One of my clients, she didn't see her friend for 3 weeks. And during the 3 weeks, we were working together. And then she met her friend and she was like, oh my God, what have you done to your face? And she was like, oh my God, what's wrong? She says, yeah, you look beautiful, so glowy. And so for her, it was 3 weeks. Of course, it's very personal, but I say on average, after 3 weeks of like really doing consistently, you can see the
No,
first
I mean,
results.
and that's a pretty quick. I would say it's a pretty quick turnaround, at least to see the first results, so you can get
Yeah,
yourself, motivated and push
yeah, exactly.
And I wanted to ask you, you mentioned like, glowy skin, right? So I guess it's not only the muscles, but it's also the texture of the skin. So I wanted to see like you could tell us some more about that. Like how can these benefit you if you have like maybe skin problems, or
Mm-hmm.
if there's anything that is happening to your skin, if those exercises will have any benefit for you on that.
Mm-hmm. Uh, I I include tips and tricks for improving the skin condition. And what I do is just I use basically everything that we can find in our kitchen. I don't believe in using very expensive creams that have tons of chemicals in them. I use very natural things, and I advise the same to my clients. But apart from the things that we can do from the outside, like putting the Greek yogurt, which is amazing if you have acne problem, or redness, or you just want to hydrate deeper levels of your skin. Greek yogurt, just put it on your face for 15 minutes and you'll see amazing results. So apart from that, acting from the outside, the face exercises really improve the skin condition. First of all, because I include deep breathing within the exercises, and then the oxygen is being transported better, right? The deeper we breathe, the calmer we are, but also our blood provides more oxygen to our cells.
Right.
Plus, a lot of those face exercises hugely improve blood circulation. So all the toxins are removed faster. And as I said again, the oxygen is being delivered to the cells. There's one exercise that I will show when the time is right today.
Yeah,
And
sure.
just
Yeah.
doing this simple exercise 3 times per 10 seconds, you will see the difference. You will feel the difference.
Let's do it now, since you're talking about this. Let's do it now, and
Oh, okay. But
show it.
so I just want to show you something, because I didn't actually prepare this one for today, but there's one moment I will show you that, because I have an actually thermal image showing the difference between the face between the 30 seconds from doing the one exercise that I was just talking about. So this is it. So this is before the exercise, and this is after. So here,
Blood
you see
circulation.
yeah, so the red part, can you see probably the red part, that's really your blood pumping in your face. And that's just one pose and 30 seconds. So that's really 30 seconds difference, right? So
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
really all fired up, and that's so amazing. So this pose, I call it the scream because it looks like the famous painting. My kids call it
Oh, I like
exorcism.
that.
And so you basically drop your jaw like you're yawning, making O shape out of your mouth, and then you look up. But what is very important, you look up without wrinkling your forehead. So for the beginning, we can just use our hand and put it here
Yes.
on your forehead.
To do
And
that. You're so used to do that, then.
then apply slight pressure, because this will really, I will show you first and then we'll do it together, because the hand is to prevent your forehead from moving. Yeah. So it looks like this. Very good. And then you look up and hold it for 10 seconds. And let it go. Come out of the pose. Yeah. And then you do this. It's like you should feel your muscles here stretching.
Yeah. I
And
can
under
feel that.
eye. And it really improves the blood circulation, and the results to your skin, because that's what that's what we're talking about, are incredible. And this one can be done anywhere. If you're driving, but of course you cannot lift your eyes up, then just simply drop your jaw, make an O shape, and relax your muscles. it makes such a huge difference. Like this.
Yeah, I mean, I feel that I could get hooked into that, because right now that I've just done it with you, like I could feel, first of all, like this feeling of calm, like the same way that when you're stretching, on where you are, doing some type of exercise, and it's you can do it anywhere, like you don't need any equipment, it's just like your face and just having 30 seconds to do that, and yeah, what you were saying, like I was starting to feel the stretch in this area.
Great. So that also proves that you did the pose really well.
Oh, cool. That's good. So you were saying about blood circulation. I think that's really interesting because it's not only like sometimes people get hooked into that because of age reversal, like I don't want to have wrinkles, or I want my skin to look better. But in the end, there is a health benefit to that as well. Regardless of how you look, like there's something behind it. And so have you seen like any other types of benefits? Because I guess that if you increase blood circulation, it could be that you have other benefits, in the rest of your body, or like, I don't know what your clients experience through these your programs of yours.
So first of all, that's the glowier skin and healthier skin. That's the first one. But what comes with that is also the awareness of breathing, like you said, the calmness, the peace that comes with it, because you take a deep breath in, and then sort of by default you relax. So being more relaxed, seeing more glowy skin, and what I also heard from my clients and experienced it myself is that you like really aware of your body posture. You start paying more attention. So you don't slouch behind your computer like this, because then you're getting this and reading, and so the open chest, and then they feel more confident just by releasing the tension from the shoulders, and having this confidence that they can do it. So the face, the skin, breathing, which comes with the calm, the feeling of calm and peace, and the confidence again.
So how would you say that someone can incorporate that on their daily basis? Because we're very busy, and
that's my favorite topic.
We're always running from one place to another. So how can you incorporate that so it benefits you, but you are not running out of time for it?
Yeah. Okay. So that's a little secret that I share with my clients. My favorite place to do face exercises is the toilet. Like seriously, we all go there anyway, right? We have to. We spend there some time, right? So instead of sitting on your phone or just for men going through the newspapers, just do the face exercises. And that really, if you pile up during the day, that's really can come up to 20 minutes a day, and that's more than enough to see the results, or to sustain the result that you want. Or in the car, I do a lot of face exercises when I walk my dogs. I mean, I do admit that my neighbors tend to look at me in a weird way, but
they know you already.
But whatever. So yeah, and one of my clients actually asked me some time ago, saying that she was doing the face exercises while being stuck in a traffic jam.
Oh, that's good.
When we started, that's also the other thing that I get a lot when I start with a new client and we start to get deeper into the poses, and come on, they do look ridiculous. Like seriously, they are really funny faces. And then women feel intimidated and they feel like, oh my God, this is silly. I don't want to do that. But then the moment that they do, and we do it together, and and then they sort of like fire up all of a sudden, and then they let this inner child to come out, because that's what we do as kids, right? We make funny faces regardless if someone is watching or not. Right. So she was at the beginning very, very tense, and she was very shy. But then she asked me sometime later after we started and said, yeah, I did the poses in the car in the traffic jam, and I didn't mind. All those people were staring at me, and I did my exercise. And she was so proud of herself, because you saw just one, right? My kids seriously call it exorcism, and it looks hilarious. You have to admit that it is.
Yeah, and you know, I feel that you touch on something like the part of the confidence, but also starting to not care what other people think if you feel that you are doing that something's right. And I feel that we all want to fit in and be normal, and
Yes,
so if you are doing like weird faces in your car and
yes,
people are looking at you, you sort of like freak out
yeah.
in a way. So I think that it might help on that also, you know, like that
Mhm.
that you don't care as much what people think. Like if this is good for you, just you do your own thing, and who cares, you know?
I mean, yeah,
If
I mean,
they're looking at you.
I'm taking care of myself. You know, it's the same like you jog, for example, right? And at least my face gets red and I don't look very pretty when I jog when I'm really tired, right? Or when you do like cardio. And then you don't care what other people think because you know that you're doing something for yourself, something that eventually will help you out. You will make you stronger on different levels, not only physically. So that's quite amazing.
Yeah, and something else I wanted to ask you. So is there any age to start doing face yoga? Like you were mentioning your kids, but can they do face yoga? Like, is there any restrictions or anything that you should
Mhm.
take into account? And you'd be like, no, don't do that because it could be dangerous for you, or
No, but no, it's like body exercises. It's for everyone. Of course, you need to adjust the poses towards your audience, or you will do different things in kindergarten, and then you will do different things with the girls from high school because their needs are different, their capabilities are different. My oldest client was 85.
oh wow,
Yeah, she could hardly walk, but she did the exercises, and she had so much fun during the workshop. Really, she was one of them, the ones that laughed loudest. And then she
that's
at the
really
end she
good.
really thanked me, saying that yeah, she didn't expect that, but she had so much fun, and then she will definitely continue. So for me, that's more than enough, you know,
Of
making
course.
somebody else happier, and feeling like that, you know, I can do this. So there is no age restriction. There are more things like health wise when I ask when we start working, because myself I have problems with my neck, so I know that I need to adjust a few poses because I cannot do them the way I was taught, right? So I always try to make sure that my client gives me all the information I know, not to harm themselves when they do the poses. Most of them don't require really a lot of, you know, the exorcism one, right? It doesn't require any health restrictions here, but yeah, it's always very personal. I say no age restriction, definitely, and the poses needs to be sometimes adjusted based on the health the body condition and the health.
And you mentioned this client of yours, no, that she's 85, and you know, I thought to myself, wow, you know, like maybe older people or people who have injuries and they cannot do physical exercises much,
Yeah,
or they are in the house and they cannot get out. Like I feel that face yoga might be a great option for them, you know, to increase circulation
yeah,
and also like have fun, because I feel this is
yeah,
fun. Like this is the whole point of doing it, you know, apart from the obvious physical benefits,
yeah,
but it's also a moment for you to have fun and you know look at yourself doing like
yeah.
weird faces on the mirror.
Exactly. Well, no, whenever I go home and my mom's neighbors find out that I'm coming, they always ask my mom, can they come and can we do something? So last time I was there was like 10 women all together. So the average there was 75, and they had so much fun. And now my mom called me and said, yeah, you know, every morning when they do their neighborhood Nordic walking, they do the poses, they do the
Yeah.
face exercises together. And this is so amazing because the benefit is still there regardless of your age, you know. And then on different levels they feel more comfortable, they feel more beautiful, plus their faces really do improve.
No, and this is great. Like, and
Yeah.
I think that it's a really interesting topic, and I'm so happy you join us here for the conversation. I just wanted to like to wrap it up. Let's finish up with like a golden nugget, like
Mhm.
something, you know, an exercise, a tip, a message, or all of it that the audience, you know, to take back as homework for face yoga.
Mhm. Okay, so the exorcism we already did, but we can do it again, because what I normally do, I start with relaxing the muscles that are responsible for our forehead. Because in our culture, this is when we move a lot, right? Either because we talk, or we read something, or something is difficult, and then we focus and do this, right? Do you do that sometimes? Have you noticed that you do that when you're not? Yeah. So interlace your fingers like this. Yeah. And then shoulders down, put them on your scalp. Shoulders down, chest open. Take a deep breath in and release. And then move your hands sideways. Just your hands, just your scalp. And then front and back. Oh yeah, like this. That's very good. And it's really simple, can be done anywhere, but believe me, when you're tired, it really, really helps. Plus, it really relaxes the muscles responsible for our forehead. Okay, next one, you just move your hands towards your forehead, like directly, and then move sideways. Here, I really avoid the movement up and down, because this is where we might create the wrinkles, so only sideways. Okay, that's enough. And then we're going to use our knuckles here, and then it depends. For some people, it's easier to do it like this, press it to your, like this. Some do it like this. So feel whatever feels more comfortable for you. Okay, so we press it's just a matter of trying it out. That's what I mean, you know, that's what I love working one-on-one, because everything is so personalized in face yoga. So press the knuckles to your forehead quite firmly, and then slide sideways. It's good to have your face hydrated. Here, you know, like not to do it on really dry skin, because that might be painful. And then shoulders down. Oh, very good. Yeah. And then when you keep them here in the middle, just take a deep breath in. And when you slide, breathe out. Yeah.
I can feel the forehead working, you know, like it's almost like tingling.
You do good. That's very good. And now we will do something to stop our foreheads from moving. And this one again, the idea of this pose is be able to open your eyes as wide as you can, but without wrinkling your forehead. Because what we do when we open eyes, try open your eyes as wide as you can. See, you're moving your brows. That comes natural. That's by default. But believe me, that can be controlled. And then at the end, you can open your eyes, be surprised, and then do nothing with your forehead. Yeah. So what we do?
Complicated though. Yeah.
Only at the beginning, and only until you will feel it. Put your hand like here, and then open your eyes as wide as you can. Like open them, like really wide, like you wanna, like you're surprised. Can you feel your forehead moving? Exactly. That's the thing, you know? But because you hold your hand here, you're teaching your muscles not to move. Eventually, you will be able to do it without your hand. Like seriously, my forehead was moving all over the place. And I will add something extra to this one. While you do this and you open your eyes, we will work on our eye muscles here. And then the benefit of this one is, first of all, improved blood circulation in eye area where the skin is really, really thin and delicate, and toned muscles. That means no crow's feet. So we do the same. We open the eyes. That's one exercise actually, but benefits for everything. I don't like wasting time, so I try to combine as much as I can. So you open your eyes as wide as you can, and then I'll go a bit closer so you can see me. And then like you're trying to close your eyes with lower eyelids. Not like this. Okay, so try to imagine that you first of all saw someone that you were really surprised to see, and then you think, you bastard. Really, it's like, you know, that's really funny, because when I saw imagine that you see something very far away and then you can't see it, and then you just squint your eyes and they don't get it. But the moment you see that, tell them that, you know what, just imagine that you saw a guy that you really don't like you're surprised, and then you bastard. And then you just get it like this.
You just need to get into the situation, you know. You need to get situated. Like,
yeah, you can put your hands like this if it's more convenient, because one hand is good for people who move their forehead mainly here. But if you move here, then place your hands here, and then open your eyes, and then squint. It will look like it's really funny when I come that close to the camera, but I really want to make sure that you see. So you open your eyes and then you squint, squint, squint. Let me see. Come on, do it now. Now your turn, and let me see.
Okay, so
Because I need to make sure that you, first of all, shoulders down, open. Yeah, that's very good. Very good. Now open your eyes as wide as you can, and then squint like you're trying to close your eyes with lower eyelid. Very good. Can you feel your muscles here under eye moving?
Yeah.
And the eye squinting, you can do literally anywhere. When you sit behind your computer, when you're driving, you know, it's just small movement, small eye movement, but makes a huge difference. It's really beautifully tones the eye area.
Oh, that's very good, and I think that it's something you can do in the office, you know, while you're working and doing anything, you just can add these exercises.
As I said, I have a lot of corporate clients, and then I make sure that they can do the exercises while they're behind a desk, because I can imagine that they spend a lot of time there, right? So I give them the exercises, and this is one of them that I can do, like literally sitting, reading something, or, you know, not maybe talking, but to someone, or on a phone, and then do the eye squinting, and it's amazing.
Yeah, no, it's really good.
Did you like it?
Yeah, it was great. I loved it, and you know, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna do that. I'm going to start practicing this exercises.
And just let me know how it's going, because I'm really curious.
Sure, we'll do. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time and sharing your knowledge with us, and talk to you very soon. Thank you very much, Lena.
Thank you so much for having me again. Have a great weekend.
Bye. You too.